We've got a brand new bag to talk about today, and the bag we're going to talk about is the new Dior D-Journey bag that they've recently come out with. Now, I've done a video talking about how I think that Dior is about to completely overhaul their overall approach to everything they've been putting out lately, because as we know, Dior has been riddled with struggling sales, controversies, things like that. And so they hired the head of Miu Miu, Benedetta Petruzzo, who was in charge of all of Miu Miu's success the past few years and all of their, exponential growth. Dior was like, we need some help. Please come over and do the same for us. And so this is the first big bag we've seen that Dior has actually put a lot of marketing support behind ever since Petruzzo took over. Now, I've got to add a side note right before we talk about the bag. I know that a lot of people have been talking about how the creative director on the women's side, Grazia Chiuri, needs to go. That she's not been doing a great job, especially with those like weird graffiti Miss Dior lines that we've seen recently. But I also think it's kind of like fair for creative directors to get in a rut. Because if you think about it, Grazia Chiuri, she was responsible for like the Dior book tote, like the Dior D-Way slides, reviving the saddlebag. I mean, she has done a lot of good at Dior, but I can see that after a while you kind of get like creative block. So I think it's really good that Petruzzo has come in and I think really challenged her to put forth some really new and different styles. And that's exactly what I think this bag is. So I am going to look down because I've got some photos pulled up. But the Dior D-Journey bag is something unlike bags that we have ever seen Dior come out with. This is very clearly a casual, slouchy, throw over your shoulder and go type of bag. And that's just not Dior's vibe. So I think it's really smart that Dior has really been pivoting because they've been seeing that they're very like buttoned up, very elegant, very like intentionally designed styles in the past. They're not really resonating with customers right now because that's just not the general style. Although it is my personal style, it's just not what's selling to the masses right now. And so they were like, we need to go casual. We need to go slouchy, like we just need to go relaxed in general. It just does not represent anything else they have in their collection. And at first, when I saw this, I was like, this just doesn't feel like a Dior bag to me. But then I thought about it, I was like, that's actually not true because there are so many different elements of Dior's DNA woven throughout this bag. So I actually think this is very reflective of Dior, even though like at first look, like it's not a Lady Dior. It's not a saddlebag. It's just a very different bag. But you can see it is this slouchy hobo style type of bag. And what's beautiful about it is that it's got all of these different straps here. So you can see like right where the CD is on top, that's how you can actually disconnect the bag if you need to. You can also disconnect the buckles down at the bottom. You can make the straps shorter. You can make them longer. You can interchange them. In a way, it almost kind of reminds me of like a Gabrielle from Chanel, that you have a lot of different options with how the straps will work here. And that kind of makes sense because you think about the girl that wears a Gabrielle, she is an it girl. Like she is very stylish. And I think this bag is definitely going after someone who wants to be stylish and comfortable at the same time. So you've got the CD here, you've got the buckles and the gold hardware, and they've also got this long hang tab here that says Christian Dior. So people are getting that kind of like logo flex, a little bit of that brand recognition. We all know a lot of people who buy luxury, although you might not want to be screaming in logos, you kind of want other people to know that you bought something nice, something that cost a pretty penny. And so this is kind of like a nicer, more elegant way of Dior being able to put that branding on the bag. And see it's got this beautiful golden zipper. It's got some like hidden little compartments on the inside. So this is a really great, really functional bag. And so as I mentioned, like this being like a very like slouchy, easy to wear bag, this is not just a bag that you can put over your shoulder and wear it. You can also sling it across your body, kind of like we do with like fanny packs and bum bags. There are a lot of different ways that this bag can be worn, and there are also quite a few different sizes. So let's talk about the difference in terms of the sizes, the different materials they come in, and the pricing of them and what fits inside, because I think that that is really important. So the D-Journey comes in 3 different sizes. It comes in small, medium, large. The small comes in 3 different SKUs, the medium comes in 3 different SKUs, and then the large only comes in 2. And it makes sense. A lot of like brands, when they come out with a bag, like large is not necessarily the one that they're leading with. They kind of test what works well with like small and medium, and then they'll eventually scale out over additional seasons. So in the small size, they've got 3 different colorways. The first one is the Dior oblique print. The next one is the vintage smooth calfskin that you see here in the white. And then there is also a black version that's in a crinkled calfskin. So if you look, like if you close up between the white and the black, you can see the difference in the leather. The white does look to appear much more smooth. It's got way less detail going on in the graining of the leather. Whereas, the crinkled calfskin, it's got more depth to it. It's got more dimension. And so it kind of just depends on like what vibe you're looking for. Like if you're looking for leather, which one would appeal to you? And then of course you've got the Dior oblique print. So if you are someone that likes the Dior oblique print, that could also be a great option for you. And this bag is $4,000 in the small size. And in terms of what fits, you can easily and comfortably fit all of your essentials in here because of the size of it. So if you're looking at sizing in the small, it is 10 inches long, 5 3/4 inches tall, and 5.5 inches wide. Whereas if you go to the medium, also in 3 colorways, which I'll talk about, that one is actually 13 inches long, and it is 6.5 inches tall, and then 6 inches wide. And I'll also just tell you the large, which comes in 2 different colors. The large is 17.5 inches long, 8.5 inches tall, and 7.5 inches wide. So the smallest one is 10 inches long. And so the small is $4,000, the medium is $4,500, and the large is $5,300. What's interesting is that across all of the different sizes, whether you're getting leather or the Dior oblique print, they are the same price. For instance, if we look at the medium size here, like I said, there are 3 different colorways. First is the Dior oblique print. You can see $4,500. Then you've got this beautiful camel color, and it's in a vintage smooth calfskin, also $4,500. And then the black version, it is in a shiny goatskin, and that is also $4,500. So it looks like Dior is not really trying to nickel and dime you in terms of which one you want. Or could it just be that since most people would expect for the fabric version to be a little less, that they're like, no, you know what? We know that our oblique print sells really well. People don't care that it's fabric versus leather. We could actually price it a little higher than we would a normal fabric because we know it sells so well. I'm not really sure what the case is there, but regardless, I'm happy that they've made it simplified for people. So that way you don't have to make like a hard decision just based on saving like $100 to $200. And you can see a similar type of approach with the large, but only the 2 colors, the Dior oblique print, and then the crinkled calfskin in the black leather. Those are $5,300. Now let's talk about what fits inside. What's great is that you can fit literally all of your daily essentials as long as your essentials don't include a laptop in any of the sizes. The small starts at 10 inches long, and in there you can readily fit a wallet. I think not even just like a card holder, but you could even put like a proper wallet in there. You can get sunglasses and keys in there. You can get, lipstick, you could put your AirPods in there. Like, it's all going to fit. And if you were to go up to the medium size, I would say that you could throw in there like an extra little like cosmetic pouch or something like that. You could maybe put in like a bottle of water. And then if you're gonna go down to the large, you could definitely fit a tablet in there. You could probably put like some papers in there. You might need to fold them, but like a bunch of papers would fit in there too. So you can get quite a fair bit amount of your things into these bags. So I think it's nice because this bag is not just like a cool, casual, slouchy, relaxed type of bag, but it's also quite functional. You can do a lot with the straps. You can fit a lot inside. It really does seem like Dior was really trying to come up with a bag that doesn't really overlap or would cannibalize any of the other bags that they have. Like if you think about it, there's no way that someone would be deciding between a Lady Dior and this bag. No one would also be deciding between a Dior book tote and this bag. This bag really is something different, and it really is a practical bag that I think has a lot of mass market appeal. Like, as long as you like, the macro canage that is stitched into the leather here, which you can't even really see that much. I mean, you can see a little bit of texture, but it's not like a big in-your-face type of like logo or embossed type of anything. As long as you like the macro canage or the Dior oblique print, I mean, you're gonna like this bag. And I will say, I of course love the fact that it is done with gold hardware. I think that that is beautiful. I think over the next few seasons, as they add additional colorways, as they add additional SKUs, different fabrics, things like that, I could definitely see them adding some more silver in here. So I think that this is just like a really practical bag for Dior to have put out. I will say that this bag does feel very different than the typical type of Dior bag. And I remember when I saw it at first, I was like, oh, Dior is not really sticking true to their DNA, but actually that's not true at all. I thought that they were just taking inspiration from a lot of other popular bags they've seen lately and making the Dior version of it. But actually, I don't think so. I think they took inspiration from other popular bags. Like, I'll give you a few examples. From the row, I'm probably not saying this right, but the Jouve bag here, I think you can see a lot of similarities between this bag and the D-Journey. I think also there is this slouchy banana bag, which I can't say without laughing, from the row. Again, both of these are ones that you can kind of sling across your body. You know, you can wear it as a shoulder bag, you can wear it across, you can wear it over a coat. It's a very functional bag. And then also I do think that they've taken some inspiration from Miu Miu, and it's their adventure bag. I mean, look at it. From the way like the golden hooks work to the golden grommets throughout, from the slouchy overall appearance, it does seem like Dior took some inspiration from Petruzzo's, I don't know if you can call it her alma mater, but we'll call it from her school that she transferred from. It does seem like they've taken a lot of inspiration from other bags that seem to be selling well from these other brands that are really doing well right now. Like the Row and Miu Miu, no one can touch them right now. But I think that Dior did a really good job of weaving their own DNA into the bag. They obviously added in the little CD, you know, that you can see on the shoulder strap very prominently, but it's not so in your face that like it looks like a huge logo. It just looks like a little chain link unless you know what Dior is, and then you know that that chain link is standing for Christian Dior. But it's smart because that was an inspiration piece that they took from their saddle bag, where it's got the CD right here and it does really well for them. So I think that that was really smart. They've got the macro canage, you know, woven throughout. They've also got the Christian Dior, you know, like little pull tab there. So they've got a lot of things that I think are very true to Dior. It's just a type of style that we're not used to seeing a lot of from Dior. So I'll be very interested to see how this style does. But overall, it just feels like a very functional bag. It feels very fairly priced. I mean, if you think about it, about $4,000 for a luxury bag is definitely like the going rate nowadays, or is on the cheap side, you know, depending on what brand you're comparing it to. And I think that the large style is actually an exceptional value for money when you compare it to other large bags from other brands like Bottega, like Chanel. If you want a big bag from those brands, you are going to be paying like $7,000, $8,000, $9,000. And here you can get one for, you know, less than $6,000. I mean, with tax, it'll probably be about $6,000. So I feel like Dior is being very competitive in their pricing and just like really strategic about this new style that they've put out. And I'll just be curious to see, you know, how it does overall. Does this sell or does it not? You know, we know a lot of times Dior does have seasonal bags that are kind of like one season in, one season out. So just for Dior's sake, I hope that this style does do well for them, but I think only time will tell. So I'll be very curious to hear your thoughts about this bag. Please let me know down in the comments below. Is this a style that you're looking to explore? I mean, I think for some of you Dior lovers, it might be like not your style at all, but maybe for some of you that don't like Dior, it could be your gateway into Dior. Who knows? But let me know your thoughts about this bag down in the comments below. I'm really excited to hear what you think about this bag. And thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I would really love it if you could just give this video a little like. Just give a little thumbs up down in the corner below. And if you haven't already, what are you doing? You need to subscribe to my channel so that way you can get all my latest content about all things shopping delivered straight to you. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Lily and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye everyone.